We have a great appetizer recipe for you today from Miss Daisy, and I think this is one that is going to look so impressive on your table if you're going to a holiday party.
It is. It's got all the traditional colors, and it takes a little time, but during the holidays, you need something that you feel real special about. And when you taste this, you're going to know it's special.
So this is a pesto and sun-dried tomato torte.
Yes, and it's got it's like three different recipes. But we make our pesto at the market all the time for our salad, so that was kind of easy for me to do. But for you that are watching at home, I'm going to make it for you easy for you. All right, Meryl, what I have done in this bowl, I have added 2½ 8-ounce packages of cream cheese and 3/4 cup of butter. And if you want to turn on the emulsifier just a second. And I am, well, okay, it's supposed to work.
Oh, it's working?
Oh, okay.
It's working great.
What I've done out of this that you will see, I have taken about a cup and a half of the mixture and set it aside because that's going to be our first layer in our souffle pan, or I'm using, let me tell them about this, I'm using a cheesecake or springform pan. Cover it with plastic wrap, film, or wax paper, and then you can just lift it out.
And you want to be sure you're leaving some hanging out over the edges.
Right, right. So that's our first layer, and then as
Do you want me to put this in?
Yes, if you'd like to. And then as she's doing that, we can go ahead and I'll tell you what becomes our pesto. We have, this is 4 cloves of garlic that have been chopped, or if you use a food processor. And it's 1 1/3 cup of fresh basil leaves. And I went ahead and chopped those for the sake of time. And then I've got our pine nuts, and pine nuts are real sweet, and that makes that makes pesto so good. Then I have a little olive oil. We want to add 1/3 cup of olive oil, then a little lemon juice, and then of course our last is fresh Reggiano Parmesan, and it is so good. All right, now Meryl, you've done a great job on that. See how easy it is?
So far so good, right?
I told you I'd make this an easy recipe for our viewers. All right, you want to then merge this just a little bit.
Okay.
And then I will...
You'll want to do this in the food processor at home. It's probably a little easier than with this immersion blender, which isn't emerging.
It's not emerging like it should, but anyhow, you got the idea. You mix it all together, and I've got some extra spoons here that we can stir it.
Maybe we'll stir.
All right, now let's take this over, and we're going to do the cream cheese and our sun-dried tomato mixture, and it's very easy.
I'll work with this while you're doing that. All right,
this is another 1/2 of a block, 8-ounce block of cream cheese, and it's 1 1/3 cup of sun-dried tomatoes in the oil. And you can, you know, pat them a little bit dry, but I just love the oil in it. I think it makes it so good. And then this is 1/3 cup of tomato paste, and this is our sun-dried tomato layer. So we've got the original cream cheese. Meryl's putting the pesto mixture together.
So how much of this pesto would I layer?
All of it.
Oh.
You layer all of it.
Oh, okay. This all goes on next.
It all goes on next. Now, if you're looking at the recipe says you can do 4 layers. You can do the cream cheese, the pesto, another cream cheese, and then top it with the sun-dried tomato. But for the sake of time, we're just going to do 3 layers. And Meryl, this recipe makes a lot, like enough for 20 servings.
So for a big party, this would be perfect.
And you need to refrigerate it overnight because the flavors all marry so well together.
And you could do it 2 or 3 days ahead.
Oh yes, well it'll last because we have been making this at Miss Daisy's, and I'll give it at least a 5 or 6 days shelf life.
Oh, that's terrific.
See how nice that is? And then you're ready to top it with, you don't have to let it sit in the fridge. You can just top it with the sun-dried tomatoes.
And take a look at that finished product. I mean, that is such an impressive display on your table.
And then I have added some more sun-dried tomatoes around the top, some pine nuts, and some fresh basil. And when you slice it down, it holds together very well.
That is just beautiful. I think ours is going to turn out great. I can't wait to see the finished product. Daisy, thanks so much for sharing this with us. Well, I think that'll be great for
happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you as well. Well, this is recipe number 5275. It's online now in the Talk of the Town recipes section at newschannel5.com.